Hey, good morning, Justice Warriors. I am so blown away by the information coming out just today. I don't know what to think. Yesterday was pretty mind-blowing too, and I don't know what to think about any of that either. So let's get started. How are you guys doing? I'm doing a pre-recorded again because there's just a lot of information to cover and I want to try to keep it as short as possible. So I apologize for not doing a live. I know there's a lot of you that are just extremely loyal and I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate all my viewers, all my subs, and thank you for being here. Please hit that like button if you feel like it. Everything I say is simply my opinion. It's simply for the sake of hoping to start a conversation, open up a discussion, learn some things, possibly be educational. And my videos I make all specifically for YouTube, which we all know it's an entertainment platform. So here we go with the Idaho 4, and it says that something up with the security. Oh no, not that on the system. I think it's fine. There's just a little update. Anyway, I was like, what? Low battery? I thought I'm plugged in. So many things to cover. So let's get on with it. Um, Yesterday, the full Monty. Did Bethany Funk really see a guy doing the full Monty running out of her house on the night or the morning of November 13th, 2022 at the 1122 King Road address? I don't know. All these ones and twos, you guys, and the kings and the queens. I mean, it's sus AF, if you ask me, or just a whole pile of like 80 infinity coincidences, right? Anyway, I wanted to talk about depositions, survivor's guilt, dark money. Yeah, people don't really talk about dark money, do they? You guys have probably all heard the term, and it's really what is keeping many institutions afloat. And there's a lot written about dark money. There's a lot of people in the know about dark money, and a lot of people in the dark about dark money. So, you know, when you're dealing with big, big money, you have a lot of obligations, a lot of pressure, and you've got to sustain the momentum. So, what many people that are loaded do is they, enhance their portfolio, they modify it, they make it more creative with a bunch of different types of things, diversify, right? It's all about diversifying your portfolio. So I'll just let you leave that to your imagination because I'm not making any accusations towards anybody about anything, but we all know that brick and mortar establishments and institutions have been struggling financially with the whole online movement, right? Keep that in mind. Absolutely keep that in mind. Dark money. It's the underlying current here, I believe. I do believe. So, yesterday it was in the news all over the place about the full Monty, about the subpoena for Bethany Funk. And by the end of the day, they agreed to a deposition where Ann Taylor will be traveling down to Reno to interview Bethany. For those who don't know what a deposition is, let me just break it down quite simply. It's essentially the same thing as testifying on the stand in court. You do have a court reporter there. Often you have a video camera and or a tape recorder, but it doesn't matter because you have a court reporter, so every single word is being recorded. And then there's a transcript of it. So it is court record. It is testimony, just like if you're on the stand. So Bethany agreeing to this deposition is very normal in a situation like this, or Ann Taylor agreeing to travel down to Reno so that there's not the hardship of Bethany having to travel up to where she was going to school anyway. A lot of back and forth. And there's a lot of us that are not familiar with these terms and we're not familiar with the whole court system. I'm fairly familiar. I've had a lot of experience, but I'm not an attorney, but even an attorney is always on a learning curve, you guys, because there's always cases that set precedents and there's always exceptions to every rule. So, if you're feeling like you're in the dark, don't worry about it. These are big, cha-ching, 25-cent words. Subpoena, deposition, whatever, exonerate. um, they have pretty simple meanings. So a deposition is simply an interview that's being recorded, basically. And it's very formal. So you swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, just like you're on the stand. And this is typical in any case. You always get your depositions prior to trial or anything in court because you don't want any surprises. You want to know what's coming. As an attorney, you don't ever ask a question in court that you don't already know the answer to. So this is how you find out the answers to those questions, is simply in a deposition. So the survivor's guilt, let's talk about that for a moment, because Hard Truth is a newer channel that is phenomenal, you guys. I recommended her video yesterday that was a few days old. I put it in the description. I put the link to it. And then I think it was last night she came out with another one. I watched it this morning, and I'll put the link in the description here. But yesterday's, let's start with that. Talking about that Bethany and Dylan would be absolutely coming undone if they had been in the house, in the residence, when these homicides occurred and they narrowly escaped being the fifth and sixth victims. And that's not just special and specific to Bethany and Dylan, that's anybody. Anybody in a situation like that is going to have extreme, not just the post traumatic stress disorder, but the survivor's guilt. And their mind is going to play games on them. And I like how Hard Truth said it, that she's just not buying it because there's no evidence of them being completely non functional humans. For instance, we probably all remember the sightings of Dylan running out to Starbucks a couple of weeks after this happened. You would be non functional, like so non functional that if something itched on your body, you wouldn't know whether you were to scratch it or not. You can't eat, you can't sleep. That's true PTSD and true grief and true trauma. We don't see that with these girls. We're not seeing these girls, granted, they're being sheltered, they're being hidden, they are being taken care of by the law enforcement, by the sororities, by the universities, and by Ashley Banfield, in my opinion. So, um, in a situation like, let's just say that they had anything to do with it and they were there. I don't know. I don't know if they were there. I don't know if they weren't there. But in a situation like that, to be unscathed is almost unheard of. There's situations that we've all heard about where people in caught up in activity like that will injure themselves. They will shoot themselves, they will stab themselves, they will tie themselves up. They will do things to camouflage the fact that they're involved. They'll try to really look like one of the victims. So I'm not saying that that's what these girls did. I'm saying that we don't know. Their stories don't add up, and we just need to give it time. So, earth shattering this morning with the Hard Truth. The girl, I don't know where she got this information. Well, I do know because I went on the internet and looked too, but I don't know how she came across it to begin with. Okay, are you guys ready? Hold on to your seats here. There's a woman named Susan Payne who owned the house across the street from the Coburgers in Pennsylvania. And I'm sure you guys have all caught wind of this here and there. I had, but I hadn't really put it all together. This house, 114, what is the name of the street? Lambsden Drive, Albrightsville, 18210. You guys can look it up too. 114, right across the street from the Coburgers at 119 Lambsden Drive, Albrightsville, 18210. Okay, this is a big, beautiful home, over $400,000. It allegedly was purchased on November 14th of 2022 by four people, one of them having the name of Susan Payne, Payne. And then it just sold yesterday at like a $4,000 loss right across the street. And you just got to wonder, is this the home? Bubbly Waters, put this in the comment section of Hard Truth. Is this the home where Koberger is allegedly doing weird things in the garbage in the middle of the night? You got to wonder, is this where he was playing in the trash? So, bought the day after the tragedy and sold yesterday. So I don't know if this Susan Payne is related to any of the Paynes in Moscow, the Payne in Moscow. Um, I'm still trying to find that video of the three college guys being stopped by the police in Banfield at 3:01 a.m. on 11/13/2022, and the one guy scrolling through his phone and allegedly the police body cam capturing the images of things that had happened earlier, very graphic things in the residence of 1122. I still haven't seen that footage myself. I cannot attest to it. So anybody who might have that, please email it to me. justiceatooz@gmail.com if you would like to. I would really like to see that if it's actually valid. I can't imagine that it is. We get so many rumors going through on this case. It's just nuts. But I know a lot of responsible people have spoken about it. So I would be very interested in seeing that. But when trying to watch the one, again, thank you, Bubbly Waters, that viewer sent me. It was about 45 minutes, and I'll put the link to that in my description as well. So it's some news footage. It's the police body cam from 3 o'clock in the morning that night in front of the residence, and it's got the white Elantra driving by. No joke. But one of the guys that they're talking to, the one on the left in the white and black plaid shirt, says when he's asked, how tall are you? He says 6 foot, 6'1", and they ask, how much do you weigh? And he says about 177 pounds. And I'm thinking, bushy eyebrows? Pretty funny that his dimensions are athletically built but not muscular, to quote the freaking affidavit. Anyway, again, what a coincidence. So this guy who happens to be in front of the home at 3:01 in the morning has the exact same stature, basically. I know allegedly Dylan says that the guy she saw in black probably weighed about 185 pounds and was 6 foot tall, but I'm saying 177 is close enough. She probably doesn't work at the carnival where she guesses people's weights and they win prizes if she's wrong, right? Oh, this is nothing to laugh about. Absolutely. I both feel like I need to apologize when I'm laughing about anything in this case, and at the same time, I feel like it's important that we try to keep some lightheartedness when we're dealing with such extreme, dark evil. Try to keep some lightness in your heart. Um, so I wanted to talk for a moment about the body cam footage of the police when they do the traffic pullovers on December 15th in Indiana with Brian Koberger, the criminal defendant, and his father. And I think we all know in one of those videos when the police officer asks like where you're going or something like that, and Koberger says, "Oh, Thai food." And his father says, "Well, we live in Pennsylvania and we're just leaving WSU. My son's a doctoral student there," or something like that. And dude's eyes just about bug out of his head, and he looks like he's about to wring the neck of the parent sitting in the passenger seat next to him. So when that happened, I'm thinking that that was the second traffic stop in 10 minutes. So that would make more sense of why the criminal defendant would be bugging out being pulled over twice in 10 minutes. There was a lot of confusion about, was it twice in 10 minutes or was it 5 hours apart? One of the videos has the timestamp of like 10 something in the morning. And then the other video has a timestamp that is the second one that is like, what is that called? It's like the military time. It's the universal time for the whole planet. And it looks like it's 5 hours later, but it's really not. It looks to me like it's 3 in the afternoon, 4 in the afternoon from the way the numbers are. It's all crazy. But I believe that that timestamp is just the universal timestamp on that second body cam video. So it was twice in 10 minutes, which makes more sense when you look at the geography on Interstate 70, how far apart the two stops were, was probably 5 to 10 miles. So, you know, were they just messing with him? You don't normally get pulled over for tailgating. I mean, if people did, everybody would be pulled over all day, every day. Because, I mean, I see tailgaters all the time. And I believe people should be pulled over for tailgating because it's dangerous. But, it was kind of a BS traffic stop. They were trying to get images of the criminal defendant, allegedly. There was the rumors that the feds had put the sheriff and the state highway patrol up to it. And then there were rumors that they didn't. And then there's rumors that they did. And of course, they're going to be trying to keep their cards close to their vest and not show their techniques and their MO of how they deal with situations like this. But these are some things I wanted to point out today. Yeah. Is there anything else? The um the house. That house. It's crazy, isn't it? The 114 Lambston Drive, owned by Susan Gunderson Payne. Susan Payne Gunderson. I don't know about the Gunderson part. That's in the Hard Truth video. And I did a ton of research of what I could find online about the house. And I didn't see the name Gunderson in there. Um, and I don't know if this Susan Payne has a relationship, a familiar, if she's family of Corporal Brett Payne or not. But it's pretty odd that the house was purchased on November 14th, 2022, and then sold just 5 months later, 6 months later, at a $4,000 loss. That's a very short time to own a home. And why? Was that just a coincidence? Just a coincidence that the person has the same last name as the lead detective? I'm really curious. I'm hoping that a lot of people will be looking into this. So I'm going to wrap up. Thank you so much for watching. Again, please hit that like button, share, subscribe if you'd be so kind. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fabulous afternoon. It's Thursday, so take the rest of the week off if you can. Take the rest of the day off if you can. By the time I get this video up, it'll be early afternoon. It's just about 10 minutes after 12 right now. So it takes a few minutes, but I will get on that right away. I'm hoping that you guys will enjoy this one as much as you did the one yesterday that's already gotten like 4,000 views. And the funniest thing is, like, there's only a few hundred likes. So please, if you're watching this video, just go ahead and hit that like button. It doesn't cost you anything. It's no commitment, and it just does a ton for the algorithm and lets YouTube know that you like the video. If you do. I mean, at least like the lights, right? Dang, I'm just loving the lights. So, you guys take care. Peace out. Make sure you eat your veggies. Stay hydrated. Be kind. Get your exercise, some sunshine, fresh air every day. And sending you light, sending you love. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.